Do you struggle with mom butt? These exercises are designed to properly engage and train your glutes to strengthen, tone, and shape your butt. It's just 10 minutes, and all you'll need is 2 sliders or small towels and a small step or bench as an option. This is workout number 2 of a 3-part workout series, so make sure you've done workout 1 previously and make sure you stay on this workout for at least 1 to 3 weeks before moving on to the next one. For best results, don't train glutes on consecutive days. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to workout number 2 from my Mom Butt workout series. This is number 2 of 3 workouts in the series, so make sure you've done 1 before moving on to this second one. You're gonna need a set of moderate to heavy weights. I'm using 15 pounds today. You can go lighter if you're newer to exercise or heavier if you're a regular. And a medium resistance band. Again, you control the resistance, you can go light, you can go heavy. And a step. So you can also do this without any equipment, but first things first, we're gonna start with a banded glute bridge. So we're gonna come on down all the way to the floor. We're gonna start this banded bridge with heels down. We're gonna lift the hips and then all the way lower back down. So lifting the hips up and then down. Now I want your feet at least hip width apart because you wanna feel that tension on the band as you're driving the hips up and down. Now right here, use this opportunity to connect to your core. Drawing that pelvic floor in and up, zipping up your core, belly button to spine, and letting those ribs come down. If you're unsure how to engage your core, again, I have a short video on how to do that, as well as ab programs that really focus on the deep core muscles if you need clarification or support with that as well. Again, we want to drive the hips up, keep that work in the glutes and the hamstrings, so not too high. We don't want to excessively arch the back. We're gonna add to that bridge. This time we're gonna drive it up, take the knees out, in and down. So when you're ready, we're gonna lift, pushing knees out, in and down. Sometimes that band slides, so you have to make sure it stays on that meaty part of the quads is where you want it. So too high, you're not gonna feel it. Too close to the knee, it's gonna get in the way. So we wanna drive, keeping those heels down. The toes can lift here, and that's natural, especially as you get into that abduction when the legs go out and in. The toes are gonna need to lift a little bit. And you could take it as wide as you want to, but again, we don't wanna totally spill open the hips. If this is like super easy for you, I would go heavier on the resistance next time. If it's really challenging, of course, you can do this without the band. Again, I've got lots of equipment here just to show you ways to add to this workout to make it more challenging, but you can do this with nothing at all and you're still gonna get a good workout. All right, we're gonna come to our forearm now. So shift forward, forearm is at 90 degrees, hip and heels in line. Heels together, we're gonna lift, hips up, open the knees out, in and lightly tap. So this is our clam lift. We're lifting through the waistline, open knees out, in, and then all the way back down. So I'm pushing out of my forearm, keeping my hip and heels in line, so it's all straight line here. And then heels stay together as I open and close the legs. Now I'm pushing out against that resistance, so if it's too intense, you can't open the legs like at all, lose the band, or if you can't lift your waistline. Even if you're down here, I want that waist lifted so you're never collapsed, you're always lifted here. You could also take it, keep it down, open and close right here. But again, do you see that lift? We're not here, we're here. That's gonna keep that pressure in the obliques and in that glute, which is of course what we want. We're getting core as well though. Glutes and core, it's all connected. Glutes are a part of your core. A lot of people don't realize that. Okay, we're gonna stay on that same side, and this time we're gonna stay up in the clam lift and we're gonna pulse, open and close really quick. So like this, open and pulse. So we're opening and closing, but do you see I'm not closing all the way, right? Keeping that tension on the band. Again, too intense, lose the band. Not intense enough, go heavier on the resistance. But I think you'll find it doesn't take a lot for this one to get intense. Oh. Again, keep that waist lifted. If you find you're losing form or you're feeling it more in your shoulder, go ahead, drop down, take a break, or again, you can keep hips on the floor, do it here. Stay lifted. We're more than halfway now. Keep that core connected, belly button to spine. This is probably one of the hardest exercises of the program in my opinion. It's so challenging, but so good for the core. All right, moving to the other side. I know, we gotta do it on the other side. That's the disadvantage. Two sides to everything. All right, starting with that clam lift, all the way up, open, close, and down. So make sure you really feel stable with that forearm. Your hips or your heels are close to your butt here. And again, the underside of that waist is lifting, so even if you want to stay down, you can keep the butt down. But. Oh, I have kids, can you tell? Try not to say the word butt around them, but inevitably comes out. All right, pushing through that forearm. Use the breath, exhale on that lift. I do this scooping motion to emulate kind of what that pelvic floor engagement looks like when you're doing the motion. All right, we're gonna do the pulses. Ooh, you guys got this. We're in it together, trust me. Even though I can talk through it, it's still hard for me. All right, lift, stay up and pulse. Open and close. And you might find like one side is so much harder. A lot of times it's the second side because we've already fatigued the glutes, right? This side is working now and has already been firing up. So usually second side is gonna be harder, but you might not think that, and that's totally fine. Everybody is different. Everybody's gonna have a stronger and a weaker side. Exercises like this, unilateral training where we work one side at a time, are perfect for working on those weaknesses, those imbalances that we all have, especially if you're used to having little kids, carrying a baby on your hip, et cetera, you're gonna have a side that you favor. And so we really wanna give both sides some love with the strength work and the mobility work as well. Oh my goodness, I had to talk through that. I wasn't gonna get through it. Carefully come to your feet. We're gonna keep that band on. Come to the end of your mat here. Feet a little wider than hip distance apart. Sit back, hands in front of chest. We're gonna walk across, monster walks, banded squat walks. You can take hands here or here, whatever is comfortable. Separating the feet as wide as you can go without knocking the knees, without opening, turning your feet. We wanna keep those feet pointed straight ahead so that pressure stays in the side of the glute. And we wanna push back as deep as we can into that squat. Now take care to make sure your knees are not excessively pushing over your toes or you're not gripping through your toes. I want that weight in your heels. And I'm just going the length of my mat. If you have space, you can go a little bit wider. This one's tough. Feels so good. Great for mobility as well. All right, we're gonna move on, taking the band off the legs. Grab your little weights, little or big, depending on what you wanna do today. Step ups. We're gonna do half and half, starting with the right leg. So right foot up, right foot down, left foot down. Starting again, right, left, left. I'll tell you when to switch halfway. So we want those feet to come all the way on the box or on the bench, whatever you've got, stairs. And again, we're zipping that core up as we lift, keeping our posture lifted. Really simple here. And if you want a little cardio too, you can go faster. But today, I want you to focus on moving with control, really pushing out of your heel. Other side, we're gonna lead with that opposite leg now. And again, the heavier weights you have, the harder this is gonna be. Same with the elevation of your step or your bench. That's gonna make it more challenging. And we rest. All right, we're gonna move to a Bulgarian split squat. So using that bench, we're gonna place one foot, untuck the toes on the back. Hop forward with that front leg. We're gonna squat into that front leg, back foot stays on the bench, and lift. You might have to play around with the positioning a little bit because you wanna be able to freely move forward with that front knee pressing over the middle toes, and then keeping that back foot on the bench, toes untucked. That way you can get that big range of motion, dropping as low as you can, pushing through your front heel. Now you're gonna see your knee move past your toes in that front leg. That is perfectly okay. Just make sure you're pushing through all four corners of the feet. That's why I like to do this workout particularly without shoes. Make sure you're keeping that chest up, abs tight. And again, you do not have to use the weights. if this is challenging. It's a balance challenge for sure. You can always hold on to the wall. Stop here. Now we're gonna take that opposite foot back, do the same thing again. Make sure you can see that bench, make sure you're stable here. Again, hold on to the wall if you need to. Lunge it out. It is a little uncomfortable for my foot personally on this, but I can go through with it. If it's really uncomfortable, put a sock or a shoe on that back foot. But I like, again, that front foot. I like being able to really feel it pushing into the mat. And you can see even I lose my balance. This one's tough. It's a great balance challenge. Another thing to make sure is that your feet are staggered here like train tracks. They're not straight behind each other. That's gonna throw off your balance. You can see I'm hinging forward a little bit, and that's what I want you to do. You don't wanna be straight up. You want that forward hinge so that work really goes into that front glute here and push through that front heel. Power it up. One more. Good work, guys. All right, that was the second workout. 10 minutes, we're done with number 2. So as you can see, these workouts are challenging. So I want you to make sure you've done them a few times. Really feel like you can do these exercises confidently with control. Doesn't mean they're gonna be easy before you move on to the next workout, but it means you can do them with proper form. So I suggest doing this video several times until you feel like you've gotten to that place. It could be 3 times, it could be 10 times. But that's where you can kind of do what works best for you. So if you've got questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, a lot of people ask me questions that are actually answered in the description of the video. So if you're not sure maybe what I'm referencing, or you wanted to see the name of something we do, check the description first and then send me a message in the comments if you have a further question that I did not answer. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in for this workout, and I hope to see you back here for workout number 3.